Welcome to Nutrition 101, where we are going to simplify nutrition to make sure that you are not stressed out or losing your mind or struggling to figure out what the heck you're supposed to be eating. And instead, we'll make it simple so you understand what you're supposed to be doing. So, if you don't know me, my name is Coach Samantha. I coach busy professional women to lose body fat, build muscle, and live the best life without stressing out. So, I just got off a group coaching call with my one-on-one coaching clients, and we just went over this a little bit more in depth. So you are getting the crash course, baby. Buckle up. There's going to be a lot of information happening. I'm going to yap, and then we'll do some questions. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. But let's see who's here. Hey, what's up, girl? Social Ray. I think I've messaged you before. If you don't mind, drop an emoji here in the comments or in the chat or whatever, so that I can know you can hear me. That'd be awesome. But gang, welcome in. Good to see y'all. I know it's Friday, 1 p.m. I know people are thinking about checking out mentally. I would encourage you to just check back in for a little bit so we can go through this. So, Nutrition 101. First of all, what is a calorie? Y'all, there's so much online. I need you to remember, number one, that what is online is not necessarily what is best for you. And number two, you can hear me, perfect. Number two, what is online is not necessarily true. There's no law that says you have to tell the truth on social media. So please take everything with a grain of salt. Cool? Cool. So what is a calorie? A calorie is simply a measurement of energy. Alberto, what's up, man? Calories are a unit of energy. If you are at maintenance level, that is referring to you equalizing the amount of calories you are bringing in to the amount you are burning. So if you are in a deficit, then we are burning more calories than we are consuming. Same thing for a surplus. A typical deficit that I will do with my clients is 500 calories below that maintenance. That puts you in about a pound per week weight loss. This is typically what I find to be the most effective. Number one, it doesn't make you lose your mind. And number two, it's enough to get the fat loss started, but we're still going to be able to maintain energy levels and muscle. Alberto, it's super cold here in Miami. Bro, it is 22 degrees here in Kansas City. I don't want to hear about how cold it is in Miami. What is it? 40, 50 degrees? Brother, please. Nah, I'm just playing. But yes, so when we're thinking about the amount of calories that we are burning, what's going to be really important here is to understand where they're coming from. Because when we are looking at the amount of total calories that your body is burning, it is a majority going to be coming from your body at rest, your BMR, basal metabolic rate. You've probably seen that before. That's like if you were in a coma, what do you need to survive? The next way we're going to burn the most amount of calories is something called your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Very simply, what are you doing movement-wise outside of exercise? Steps, talking with your hands, yapping, as I often do. These are the things that you're going to burn the second most amount of calories. And notice we haven't said exercise yet. The next thing that you're going to do to burn the most amount of calories is digestion. Your thermic effective food is what this is called, your TEF. Digestion takes energy, and protein takes the most energy to digest. So that's why if we are eating a high protein diet, we're burning calories there, and we're staying full, and we're replenishing muscle. So after that, the least amount of calories that we are going to burn is from exercise. I'm going to say that again. Lock in. Please be with me. The least amount of calories you're going to burn is coming from your workouts. This is why my clients and I do not look at their Apple Watch to determine how many calories we're really burning. 93%, and this was a study that I don't remember where from, but I can pull it if we need to. 93% of these smartwatches are off. And so, or they're 93% off. Maybe I need to go look at the study. Never mind. But point being, this is why you need to fact check everybody on social media, because who knows what I'm even talking about. Point being, they're wrong most of the time, and they don't take into account your muscle mass, your body fat percentage, your genetics, all of that good stuff that no calculator will literally know what to do. Yeah, Alberto, that's because metabolism is complicated, and social media has made it out to be like your metabolism slows down, and it really doesn't. You move less. So, Yeah, and when you think about that too, if you've got more muscle mass on you, you're going to be burning more calories at rest. So if you've done nothing your whole life to build muscle, you're not active and you're eating the same amount, your metabolism, I guess, technically slowed down, but it didn't slow down. You slowed down. So, anyway, I've been yapping all day, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself here. But essentially, what you need to take away from this is we're not looking at the Apple Watch for burning calories. We're utilizing exercise as a form of health and to build the physique that we want through muscle building, through cardio. All these things are going to help, but you shouldn't be necessarily looking at those to burn calories. If you're a bodybuilder, don't even start with me because that's kind of a whole different situation. But for most people who are just trying to be healthy and lose body fat and work and live their life and not go insane and obsess about it, don't look at it. Don't look at it. It's going to be fine. So, what have we covered thus far? Calories are energy, and you need to make sure that you are in about a 250 to 500 calorie deficit from your maintenance in order to be in a deficit to lose body fat. Cool? With that, 3 macros: protein, carbs, fats. If we're thinking about your body as a brick wall, carbohydrates are going to be the bricks, proteins are going to be the brick layers, and the little stuff, what is it, the paste, the glue on a brick wall. I've never done construction in my life. That is your fats holding everything together. Cool, cool. Let me know if you got questions on that. When we're thinking about how much we should be having, portions, this is huge. You do not want the majority of your calories coming from protein or fats typically. Typically, we want a 30% protein, 30% fat, 40% calories coming from carbohydrates. Yes, you heard me correctly. Carbohydrates are typically the majority of the calories we consume, and this is why keto and I have so much beef, because your body prefers carbohydrates as its energy currency. Your brain loves carbohydrates, and that's why if you've been starving all day or under eating, you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, some potato chips and a Twizzler sounds amazing. Yeah, because your body is smart and it knows that it is going to get energy quickly if it does that. So I want to pause for a moment. What up, Daniel? Hey, good to see you. Sasha, am I saying your name correctly? Please let me know. Sasha Ray looks very fancy. Sasha Ray. Alberto, what up? Desiree, cool. What's up, gang? So as we're going through here, big thing I want you to take away is that when we're putting a plate together, this should look like a quarter-ish, a little bit more than a quarter of the plate is protein. Sasha Ray, perfect. Thank you. A quarter-ish is your fats, and then like the whole bottom half of the plate should be your carbohydrates. Daniel, you're too kind. I'm happy to have you here. And by the way, as your accountability coach, you should be doing some lives too. We can talk about that. But anyway, for the people who are here for nutrition, I kind of feel like that's actually a pretty good place to stop. And I just want to add, please, for the love of all that is holy, make sure you are reading nutrition facts. Make sure that you are being attentive to what people are saying on social media, like this video, and going back and saying, oh, well, they said this. Maybe I should look into that and see if there's any merit to that, instead of what my mom did yesterday. Sorry, shade to my mom. No shade. Love you, Mom. But she was like, so I just read that the Buddhist monks only eat 1 meal a day and they're super skinny. Should I do that? First of all, are you a Buddhist monk? Second of all, why do we think that works for them? Whole other thing. Whole other conversation. Point being, the what I eat in a day is the eat this to lose body fat. The here's your one food you can eat to lose fat. There is some value in those. I make some of those, but the point should be to take that and go, oh, you know what? I never thought about having oats for breakfast. That's great. Not, oh, that exact recipe with that exact macros is exactly what I should be eating in order to look like this person. Because number one, you don't know if they're actually eating it. Number two, you don't know if they're even being truthful about what's in it. Most of the time I see people exaggerating, which is whatever. And then number three, again, there's no law that you have to tell the truth on here. So grain of salt with everything. So making sure that you're seeing things on social media and going, okay, let me critically think about this for a moment. Do I really think that lemon water is going to be the one thing that's going to make me lose weight so then I can just eat cake for the rest of the day and lose weight? I mean, if you're eating less cake than your body is burning, then you will probably lose weight. But yeah, okay. I'm yapping, I'm ranting. Questions. Alberto, I did run out of protein powder this morning. What do you use, if any? I have it with coffee. Okay. I don't actually use protein powder. Um, I used to, and I think now I think I feel a lot better just using like whole sources, like whole foods is my main goal. But I do recommend, I've never had it, but based on ingredients, what I'm looking for is least amount of filler, highest amount of protein, lowest amount of sugar, and a bunch of gums that are going to make you feel like Dookie. Santa Cruz. I'm not sure what the official name is, but I can message you, Alberto. Santa Cruz Medicinal. Maybe it's Santa Cruz Medicinal, whatever. His Instagram, Santa Cruz. Let me plug my homie. I don't actually know him personally, but I watched so many of his videos that I may as well at this point. Santa Cruz, if you're watching this, hi. Let's see. But he has like a grass-fed, oh, Santa Cruz Paleo is what it's called. He has a grass-fed option that looks like very minimal processing. It comes from a good source, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's organic, whatever. The basic point there is that the macros are really on point and there's not a lot of filler in it. And that's why I like it. I've never personally had it. So Santa Cruz, if you want to sponsor me. Anyway, he's never going to see this. But point being, yeah, so Alberto, if you don't have any protein powder on hand, I would recommend trying to get it from other sources of protein. And this is why it's important to know what other sources of protein are out there. So my go-to is always having a container, a carton of liquid egg whites on deck. And listen, you're going to look at me like it's sus, and maybe it is, but just freaking microwave your egg whites. It takes like 3 minutes and you have literally like 60 grams of protein. Wait, that's with everything combined. Let me stop. There's like 6 grams of protein in an egg white and like 20 calories compared to the 90 calories in a typical egg. So you could do one whole egg for some of the selenium and health benefits and fats, mix it with like 6 egg whites or 5 egg whites, and then you've got what? 6 times 6 is 36 grams of protein right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Santa Cruz, California. That's where he's located. That's where he's based out of. So tag him. Anyway. Cool. Yeah, I think that answers the question. So, yeah, I don't typically use protein powder because I'm able to get it, but I'm also not pooping on protein powder, especially if you're someone who needs to get some extra protein and you're struggling how. It's a great way to do it. Again, just because I don't doesn't mean you shouldn't. Everyone is different. So, Sasha Ray, I'm trying to stop my addiction to sugar and have cut it for the days now, and I feel sluggish. Okay, so let's think about this for a moment. We're trying to cut the sugar addiction. Octavia, what's up, girl? Good to see you. So, have we completely cut out all sugars? And remember, there's a difference in carbohydrates. There's simple carbs and complex carbs. Complex carbs are your like sweet potatoes, rice, vegetables. Simple carbs are like juice, literally table sugar, honey, those types of things, some fruits. So it's been 5 days. Are we eating any sort of carbohydrates, or are we more so cutting out those simple sugars? And while I wait for your response, for the benefit of those here, the reason why I am asking, okay, all right, so she's cut out candies and stuff, just eating carbs like potatoes. Okay, so do you know how much you are consuming, gram-wise? How many grams of carbohydrates you're consuming and what you were consuming before? The reason why I ask is because there's a couple things that could be happening. Number one, if we go from like, I don't know, 40 grams of added sugar, which by the way, you should only be getting like 30 in a day. We're getting 40 grams of added sugar and like, I don't know, like 250 grams of carbs in your day, and then you just suddenly go to half of that, your body is going to go, WTF, what is going on? Okay, and so Sasha Ray does not know exactly how many carbs she's getting, but she's lowered them and has lowered processed stuff. So let me just start with excellent. I love the limiting of processed stuff. Remember that processing isn't inherently bad. Like, your Greek yogurt has to be processed. But when we're talking about processed stuff, I mean like granola bars that come from a box, like your candies that are corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup and whatever else is in there. Yes, that's the kind of processing we should be limiting. Okay, so here's what I would say, Sasha, is we need to understand how many carbs you are getting now, because if we had a lot of those previously and now they're all completely cut out and you're just getting sweet potatoes, your body's going to need time to adjust. So let it adjust, and it has to kind of get out of your system a little bit so that you can stop craving those things too. So stay strong. But we also need to make sure you're getting enough carbs. Remember that we still need like 100, 150 minimum for your brain to function, especially if you're working full time, exercising, and doing a lot of other stuff. We can't just have like as low as possible carbs. We've got to have a little bit of the in between. Typically, on a basis of what I'm seeing in my clients, we're like somewhere between like 175 to 250 grams of carbs, depending on who it is and what their goals are. So let's make sure we're getting enough carbs, we're getting enough of the good stuff, and as you're doing this, carbohydrates love to hold on to water. So let's make sure you're also, yes, let's measure, girl. And what we need to do is make sure that we are hydrated and we're getting enough protein as well to balance that out, because that's going to be a big change for your body. So happy to answer more questions. And actually, I have another call here in about 10 minutes, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, that does make sense when you have heavy brain fog when carbs are low, is because your brain loves carbs as energy. It's so important. And if you've ever done keto, which I do not recommend, by the way, I am a keto hater. I will never stop slandering the keto diet for most people. The big thing with that is you'll see people drop weight really quick, and then you'll also see them have like, what do they call it? The keto headache or something. Yeah, it's because you got no carbs in your body, and your brain is like, y'all, SOS. And also remember, carbohydrates love to hold on to water. So if you're not eating carbs all of a sudden, you are going to lose weight because the water is leaving you. You are not losing 5 pounds of body fat just because you swapped out pasta for something else. And the other thing to keep in mind is why keto people lose weight is because you're cutting out an entire macronutrient group. If you're not eating pasta, bread, or fruits and vegetables, like, what else are you eating? You're eating chicken breast? What are we doing? Bacon wrapped chicken, bacon wrapped scallops, whatever. How many calories is in that compared to your typical carbohydrate sources? We're probably putting ourselves in a deficit, and that's probably why we're losing body fat. And remember, your body weight is the force of gravity on you. It does not take into account your body fat. Your body fat is way different. Your body weight will change when you have the same amount of body fat on you, depending on muscle mass. If you had a lot of sodium, if you had a lot of carbs, if you're on your period, and who knows, if the moon's in the wrong position, It's very, very ebb and flow, and that's why we still track the scale quite a bit with my clients, but we use it as a data metric. We're not looking at it as, well, I'm up 0.6 pounds today, so I'm just going to quit because obviously what I'm doing is not working. It's like, okay, why? We logged your meals. What do they look like from yesterday? Oh, we went out to dinner and had a burger and beer. Yeah, we're probably holding on to some water. And you probably ate more than usual. So there's just more weight of food in your body. So all this to say, I've got to go here. I have another call. But my point is, chill out. Social media, take everything with a grain of salt. Calories are just energy. It's not like a good or bad food. It's just like how much energy can you get from that food. And then macronutrients are really important to make sure that they are balanced, because it helps make sure your energy levels are good. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with red meat either, Alberto, but keto. Oh, keto. I could slander that all day. All right. I'm going to head out. Gang, it was really nice to be able to chat with you all. So Sheree, really great conversation. Let me send you a message and make sure that you understand what I meant. And then I'm seeing a few other people join here now, actually, as we're getting to the end. Charisse, hello. Nice to see you. Good to meet you. Octavia, what's up? What's up? So, cool. All right, gang. I'll talk to you soon, and everybody have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.